Okay, hello everyone. It's DevilCrypto. It's amazing, and in this industry, you can choose the name you want, and nobody question that. In my old jobs in the legal traditional industry, that's never happened to me. By the way, you can call me Maria. I'm the general counsel at GMX, that is a decentralized exchange, and it's amazing, by the way. Now that I got your attention, big disclaimer here with super big letters. All the opinions that I'll be sharing here today are my own, and this not reflects GMX opinion. Of course, you shouldn't be taking everything or anything of this like a legal counseling. And if you need a lawyer, please consult and pay one. Okay, so today I'm going to be speaking about the legal landscape of decentralized exchanges, the challenge and the opportunities. And let's start saying that we are in a crossroad because pioneers in the cryptocurrency world are crashing with regulators. We are all trying to figure what's happening and how we are going to resolve all of this. So, you know, regulators are a little bit like parents. When you think that everything is okay, they jump and they say, not so fast. So let's continue. First of all, basic. Hi, ma'am, this part is for you. What is a decentralized exchange and what is a centralized exchange? Well, a centralized exchange is a third-party platform that facilitate cryptocurrency trades. Normally, they are subject to the jurisdiction where they operate, and of course, they are subject to the regulators and to the regulation in this place. So, they need to comply with anti-money laundering laws and with KYC or Know Your Customer rules too. A significant risk associated with excess is that usually the users do not control the funds. Some of the examples of centralized exchange are Binance, Kraken, among others. Now, regarding centralized exchanges, they operate without a central authority using blockchain technology. They automate and secure through the blockchain and, well, normally if they are decentralized enough, the customer or the user keep the responsibility to their funds and the security of their own funds. Due to the lack of regulation, some users discover themselves without knowing, not complying with the laws. So, some of them are GMX, Uniswap, among others. So, from a legal perspective, the primary difference from DEXs and DEXs are that DEXs are subject to legal regulation, anti-money laundering law, KYC laws, and decentralized exchange, no, because of the lack of jurisdictions. So, let's speak about this in a funny way, okay? Decentralized exchanges are like the cool kids in the school, the ones that are here for a while. They are like king and queens of the prom. They are subject to regulators, and they have their own structure. But DEX are the new kids in the block. We are more independent, and we don't like central authority. So we are trying to figure out how are we going to do that. You know, it's like Wild West, but it is our Wild West, and we are going to shape in it. So, next, here you maybe are asking yourself, why is this lady speaking about the SEC and not MiCA? For two reasons, I'm not going to talk about MiCA today. First, is because of time, and second, MiCA has not enough time yet to demonstrate how it's going to be applied in different territories, so maybe in the future. And of course, as you may know, the SEC with 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 SEC is trying to touch everyone, even if they have jurisdiction or not. This is debatable. So, in our evolving industry, the SEC is the Security and Exchange Commission of United States. And, well, they decide that they want to be the new sheriff in town. So they start with this proposal that is rooted in the SEC chairman, that is Gary Gensler, that he is trying to include decentralized exchange in the definition of exchange. Why, you may ask? This is a way to apply the old rules to the decentralized exchange, even if they fit or not. Of course, if this redefinition finally applies, this could have a lot of consequences in DEXs, like making this subject to scrutiny of regulators, anti-money laundering laws, and KYC laws. And you may know that if a DEX is enough decentralized, it's impossible to enforce this on a smart contract level. But, of course, every action has a reaction, right? And the crypto industry, as resilient as it is, didn't stay silent after the SEC proposal. And pushback. They said that the old rules does not fit with the necessity of DEXs. And the sector needs fresh rules. And this scenario creates an amazing legal landscape, of course, with challenge and opportunities. So the specifically critics on DEXs that you could be reading over there said that DEXs need a different design, that they need to rely on the protocols and the automatic process rather than acting as intermediaries. And well, there is like a call for a fresh rules that are tailor-made, that could comply with the nuance that's in this new technology. The pushback has created an intriguing, ever-changing legal landscape where the next move from both from regulator and the industry define the future of DEXs. Okay, so now, folks, fasten your seatbelts because we are about to delve into a tricky terrain. Challenge. We have plenty. There is a question of regulatory compliance. How do you comply when you don't know how you are going to comply and what you are going to comply with? There is a tricky matter about anti-money laundering and KYC. And let's not forget about the jurisdiction question. When operations are worldwide, where does the law apply? First, the big R, regulatory compliance. How do you comply? When do you know where you are complying? Again, rules are unclear, inconsistent. They vary a lot from one region to another. It's like decentralized wonderland. And we have the King of Hearts, or rather the regulatory bodies that are still figuring out what the rules of the game are. And remember, these rules change quickly, all the time, every day. You can blink an eye. So staying up to the day is crucial. Now, let's talk about anti-money laundering and know your customer. Traditionally, financial institutions verify the identity of their customer to prevent fraud. That's it. But there is the catch. How do you do that when your customers are anonymous? Some protocols are proposing optional identity verification methods, and they are considering to use blockchain analytics to trace illicit activities. However, you cannot do identifier verification when the protocol is enough decentralized. So also, we have the issue of the jurisdiction. Here's a riddle for you. If a DEX operates everywhere, where exactly is it located? Traditional laws are based on geographical boundary, but DEXs transcend those boundaries. They are like digital nomads. And they are hopping from one virtual place to another. The implications here are vast. Which laws applies? Where should dispute be resolved? They are complex questions with no easy solutions. And some DEXs are trying to restrict access from certain region on a front-end level. But with VPNs, the pseudonymous nature of blockchain, and anyone being able to run a front-end such liquidity, thus enforcement is a challenge. So it's a wild ride, but remember, every challenge is an opportunity. And as pioneer in this brave new world, it's up to us to find the solutions. We should work with regulation, educate people, and pave the way towards a future where DEXs can thrive into a fair and efficient legal framework. Are everyone ready for this adventure? Let's park DEXs and THEXs for a minute. And let's review how clear has the XCC their own definitions. Okay, let's speak about Ripple case. The XCC classify XRP as a security, but Ripple fought. However, in a thrilling twist of the things, documents and internal discussion reveals that not everyone in the XCC is okay with this definition. So this conflict inside the XCC highlight the need for a clear and fair regulation. It's like a legal TV show, isn't it? So, taking all of this into account, what about the future of the decentralized exchanges? As we navigate this complex legal landscape, we need to find the sweet spot. We need to find the balance. The balance between encouraging innovating and protecting user. The balance between decentralization and regulation. It's a challenging journey, but I believe we can find a way. So, the future is complex, but for me, it looks bright. Crypto is resilient, and I think that we are in a middle of we are in the middle of something big. We are trying to get the power back to the people. We are giving them, again, the serve that traditional financial services are not giving to them. So I think that as pioneers, regulators, and legal scholars need to ensure a future that is inclusive, innovative, and yes, compliant. A world where every coin and every token has its place. So we are on an exciting journey, and to ensure this shift, we are going to live into the future. Thank you for your attention today. If you have any question or concern, in the next few minutes, I'll not be changing my face.
Any questions? Oh, sorry.
Hello, thank you for your presentation. You told that pioneers and regulation have to collaborate, but how do you see collaboration when, for example, GMX team is totally anonymous? How to communicate with whom? How do you see this process?
Okay. Regarding anonymous team, normally they have core contributors, and if you are integrating to the community, you are going to find us. If you are worried about how being anonymous could be tricky in this time, it's an advantage for us. Because you never know when a notification is going to be sent to you. So being anonymous is a way to protect ourselves.
Hey, so you were mentioning before you started about the GMX, DYDX, and similar decentralized platforms and their regulation, right? So can actually, like, currently when there's no regulation, can anyone just create like a product like GMX and get away without any licensing and special regulatory compliance stuff that they need to take care of, or is it like a risk for them and for the project?
Well, taking into account the gray areas that we are facing currently in the different jurisdictions, it's quite difficult to have an appropriate answer. Every project should analyze the risk that they are going to take. Of course, when you want to be in contact with the mid-world, you'll need some certain structure where maybe you will need to include any license, or you are going to be registered in some territories. It also depends on where the team is located. The different protocols take different strategies regarding this. Some of them decide to not being incorporated at all. This is a possibility. Some of them try to do some wrappers, legal wrappers, when you have different companies in different places, trying to comply the best as you can. But now there is not an absolute answer to not being on a risk, of the SEC or any other authority going after you, because we don't know what to do to comply.
Hi, my name is Luka. Do you know who is giving the license away for services like this?
In which jurisdiction?
Well, you're talking about America right now, so SEC. So in that case, I'm actually more interested in Europe, but I don't know.
Well, regarding American, some days ago I just saw a meme that is like, I want to comply. Okay, how? Comply? How? And they are not answering. We have all this stuff regarding hobby test and all of this, but the truth is that when you try to register a protocol in United States, you can't. You can't comply with all the things that they are requesting. So in the United States, the reality is that if you are trying to register a DEX, you are not going to be able to comply. In Europe, in some jurisdiction that I'm familiar with, if you are inside the European Union, I know, I just mentioned MiCA. this is going to depend how the different jurisdictions are going to apply MiCA itself. Currently, they are doing what they think that is the best. In France, they are registering some protocols, also in Switzerland, but you know, what are you going to do when you have users in another country? You are not going to be able to comply in this country. What are you going to do? You are going to... That here also is like a problem of the philosophy of your protocol. Do you want to block someone? Or are you going to be close to the crypto philosophy, the deep one, that thinks that they should be censorship resistant? I'm going to start to church right now.
You mentioned that, you know, like one possibility is to block certain countries or users from the countries. But is it enough to just have like a disclaimer on a website to say that you shouldn't use it if you are in, I don't know, Vietnam, or do you actually have to block them?
Good question. That depends of the interpretation of the regulators, and we don't have a clear answer now. Because imagine you block users on a front-end level. What are you going to do with the code? You are just blocking on a front-end level. So are users able to use it? Yes, they can use it. So the consideration of if you are doing enough or not is also not clear. We don't know. We don't know. We are just seeing every day that, well, today this project is sweet for this or for this on another thing. So we don't know. We don't know. Currently, there is no clear guidance where you say, okay, if I do this, everything is going to be okay for me. Currently, the things that most of the projects are doing are the best that they can, based on the interpretation and based on what other projects are doing and what are other projects having problem with. Any other question? Okay, so I hope everyone enjoys.